big engine. We'll stick with Continentals. I don't know that I want to go with big oil, so we'll leave that as is. Exhaust and front grille looks fine. Radio and alert stickers, we get a radio. We don't want any rear weights. Might do eventually. Extended small fender is that thing at the back, and I think I want standard fender and front fender, extended fender and front fender. We'll go with that. Film is just tinted windows. It's 50 more for the basic. Yes, we'll do that. Don't want to beep. Standard signs, EU signs. We'll go with the EU signs because we're in the EU. Auxiliary light and beacon. Standard. Auxiliary headlight, left beacon, right beacon, beacons. Left beacon with headlight, right beacon with headlight, beacons with headlights. Standard. Yeah, we'll go with beacons and lights. This is only 150. Attachers. EU attacher. NH receiver. Oh, that was the GPS receiver, I think. I'm not going to put a GPS on this at the moment. No front loader. Numbers? No. Zarya Pro? No. GPS? No. It's going to be blue. It's going to be white. We've added 13,650. 13,000 of that is the engine. The rest is just fine. Now, customize that. Boop. We just spent another 13,000 on our tractor. But select the tractor. Repair is still 2,222. If I'd added that 13,000 to the purchase of the tractor, this would be based on that increase in price. So, buy your base tractor, then add the toys. Let's reattach the weight. Start the engine. It's 37 hours on it. It's okay. So it's 37 hours on it, but that's still less than the Renault had. This is 200 horsepower, so it's a little bit more capable with some of our equipment. Things like it could do the cultivation. I don't have to do cultivating in the Axion if I don't want to. The Axion has a little bit more horsepower, is a little bit more expensive to maintain. This is an older tractor and cheaper. So one of the reasons I keep a smaller, older tractor on the farm, just so that we can do the simple jobs, and it doesn't cost us too much money to fix the tractor as it wears out. So that's all we're looking at here. Turn some lights on. Yeah, how about we get in the cab? Where's my radio? I thought it said it had a radio. Oh yeah. I guess that's the radio. Okay. Anyway, we'll get this back to the yard. Now I have a blue tractor. I wanted a blue tractor for a while. And up until now, we've been running Valtras and green tractors. Deutz class. The orange Renault made a difference, but kind of growing out of that. I might sort of look at this and say chip tuning would add a lot more horsepower to this, but I think it's good enough for the lower power tools that we have. Puts it just below the Massey Ferguson, just below the Massey Ferguson, which is now between this tractor and the green one, the class. Okay, so raining again. It will become cloudy later this. Oh no, yeah, we're just going to put this away. That's right. Full tank of diesel. That's nice. But I could use this for lime spreading while I'm using the Massey Ferguson for spraying. Gives me a few more options. I don't think the Renault would have had a lot of fun trying to hold the lime spreader, even that small one. So a nice blue tractor. Yeah, we got the Fent thing, we got the Merlot, we got the Krone, we've got. Is that Massey Ferguson? Yeah. Massey Ferguson branded AGCO harvester. Lots of lights at the back, lots of lights at the front, more lights. Okay, that's a lot of lights. So, front lights, back lights, front lights, more front lights, lights, all lights off. Okay then. Okay, so that's done, that's still in here, we can shut that, and I'm going to progress us on to April. I think I started my logging career in Farming Simulator with a purple tractor. Valtra, probably a Valtra T in purple. And why not? Okay, so we've got a great demand at exports. I got nothing to sell. We have to plant a field. So I'm going to look and make a decision, but we're not going to start it till next time. We can plant barley. We can plant oats. We can plant potatoes and sugar beets. Can't plant sorghum. Now I am going to guess if I plant barley, it's not going to be available in July. Same with oats. They're going to be sort of end of season September harvest. Now, where's our maize? Oh, maize is, yeah. Maize is next month planting, so we are going to have to cut our grass fields that we grow maize in on May 1, get them collected, get the field turned over and get maize in it before May 4, because we will be doing the thing with it. I think we can get away with August forage. I'll save. Then back out. I'm not going to back out. I'm going to look at jobs. So, still got cultivating jobs. Lots and lots of them. I can now do that with the Blue Holland, New Holland. Blue Holland. It's a good name. Maybe we'll call it that. So there's a fertilisation contract, liming contract still, and we're starting to see sowing contracts coming in. Now my planters are big. We just did an upgrade on the second one. We have a planter for maize, which is this thing, 300 horsepower. We have a seeder for grass and now other arable crops, which is also 300 horsepower. So these are big pieces of equipment, and the only tractor we have is this one, which is 379 horsepower, so perfectly adequate for that job. If If we go back, our medium tractors, we've got, this is 295, this is 225, and this is 201. It's a little bit bigger than the Renault, so it is what it is. Anyway, for sale stuff. Was that where we were up to? No. So the Landini, Lexian was the last thing we saw. So, no, flat tractor, X9, that was the last thing. So there's that, 500 horsepower, can't do that. There's an electric telehandler, don't want one of those. There's a wrapper baler thing, one of those. Windrower, half pipe truck, one of those, do like those. Corn header, ooh, mixing stuff. So, nothing exciting there. So, I am going to, I'm thinking maybe if I plant oats in that field, then we've got a pair of oat fields and a pair of barley fields. Okay. I wonder if I've actually got it loaded. The last time I did any serious logging was back in Farm Sim 19. And I was using... Come on, tell me I've got it. That. Now the thing is with this is it's not got much horsepower, but it's a massive frame. And you can put forest superstructure on it now, not that I did last time. You can put front loader attacher on it. So this massive great thing with almost no horsepower doesn't matter when you're logging, because you can lift up massive trees. You can even put weight on the back if you're still not sure about the capabilities of this. You can put wheel weights on it. So something like that. Wide tyres, wheel weights, front loader arms, log fork, and just pick up trees. Awesome stuff. This is a really nice tractor. Unfortunately, it's freakishly expensive, so unless one came up in sale, probably not going to get one of those. That's the Zerion 4000, 5000 that I've just added, which is much more expensive than the 3. Okay. And good morning, Cameo. Well, yeah, I had a very short stream last week. I went for an MRI on Wednesday. I didn't get home till 1 o'clock on Wednesday morning from the MRI, but I had an MRI on Tuesday night. We got the results in, and it looks like I have a lot of issues with the discs in the lumbar region of my back. I have a cyst that is compressing my spinal column, which is possibly responsible for the pain I've got in my right hip. So it's not my right hip that's broken, not broken, but broken in some way, not working correctly. It is probably my back. The pressure in my back is causing pain in my right hip, because why not? But I don't see the special. And we then got an MRI on Thursday, which we haven't seen the report for, on my hip. So I'm not expecting that to show too much, I must admit. Why is there a dog over there? Or is that a deer? I think that's a deer. So we're beginning to understand what's going on with my health at the moment. But I am having to do shorter streams for now because I just can't sit for long periods. Even work. I'll work for a couple of hours, I'll go and take a sit down on the sofa, I'll come back, I'll work for a couple more hours. I'm not doing less hours, I'm just not doing them consecutively because, frankly, I can't. It's too painful. I'm not going out too frequently. I'm not doing strenuous activity too frequently. And I will be talking to my physical therapist on Monday next week to discuss what we think might be going on with my back as far as physical therapy is concerned. My gut impression is my physical therapy has been working on my back so that the pain in my back is less. The problem is the damage in my back is still there. So while we've exercised the muscles and strengthened them around my back, we kind of reached an impasse. It's probably further physical therapy is not going to do anything more significant in that area. As far as the physical therapy on my hip is probably a complete waste of time. The pain has not subsided, and it's more, I think, to do with my back problems than it is to do with any problems with my hip. So we might be wasting our time on that matter. Although stretching my hip muscles on physical therapy isn't a bad thing. It feels good to stretch those muscles, especially since I can't stretch them because it's too painful for me to work those muscles significantly. But we did discover 2 weeks ago that he had me lie face down on a bed and lift my legs backwards one at a time. I could lift my right leg. It was uncomfortable. I could not lift my left leg. It was painful, and my right hip, which makes no sense because I'm not exercising my right hip muscles to lift my left leg backwards. So that was kind of weird, but if it's a back issue, that might explain it, because when you lift your legs backwards, it does manipulate your back. Your back does move, and that might be causing more pressure on the nerves of my right hip when I move my left leg backwards. Okay, I'm speculating. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on the internet either, so it's all speculation, but it kind of makes sense from what I know from 12th grade biology. No, 14th, 12th and 10th grade biology. That is not good. You should, yeah. You need to take care of that. My Mrs. Osa's currently doing some weight loss stuff. She's type 2 diabetic. They're putting her on more meds. But we're sort of, now that she's on board, we're now playing around with more healthy eating. Which is good. She's into the foray of doing homemade bread, and we've just got some 7-grain cereal and wheat flour and bread flour, and we're trying to come up with a concoction that we like. The problem I've found is, if you try and make wheat bread with just wheat flour, you end up with a very small, very dense, very dry loaf. But I've been reading around, and it's sort of, I think the last thing we did was we added 50% more yeast to it to make it fluff up a bit more. And we used a 50-50 mix of white and wheat flour. You actually get a good loaf with good weight, and it's still quite nice. We're going to throw in, I think the idea is if we throw in bread flour, creates more gluten, which is the stuff that makes the bread puff up, that might help as well. But we're playing around with stuff. Things are slowly working out, but and obviously my weight doesn't help with my back, but my back is now beyond the point where doing anything about my weight is going to fix it. It's beyond fixable. I might need to have some discs replaced. I might need to have bones fused together, just so that the pressure's gone. Obviously they're going to have to do something about the cyst. I've read that they'll normally drain it and then add some steroid back in where they took the fluid out to help things along. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Obviously I had a steroid injection back in January on my hip and it didn't fix anything. But again, as I said, if it's not actually the hip that's the problem, it's the pressure on the nerves in the spine, then that makes perfect sense why it didn't work. But anyway, that's how well I've been. So last week, if you had come looking for me late, you wouldn't have found me. I did about hour and 45-minute stream, and really it was bonus work on the farm. It was selling about 100,000 litres of silage, and then I discovered that, I've got a field that needs mulching and I've got a field that needs weeding, and so I did those, and that was good. That filled up a short stream. Speaking of which, while we're talking about things, that is still at plus 50%. Yeah, way too expensive. So yeah, last week I bought this field, which was withered sunflowers, and this field, which was oats growing. So we've got free oats, and I've got a field to plant stuff in. But these were heavily discounted, so I thought pick them up while I can. The rest of the fields around the farm are all at plus 50% premium. That's cheap. That's a big field. 3.43 hectares, that's 4. It's almost a big field. That's a big field. It's 5. But again, plus 43%. It's way too pricey for what it is. So, slowly buying fields around the farm. I haven't looked at stuff over the road because it's a little bit further to run. That field's in this block, but they're again expensive. It's cheap, that's cheap, that's cheap. See, minus 46%. These would normally be about 200,000, 200,000, 200,000. So we got those on a deal. So I'm happy with that. We bought that one last year. We bought these two over the winter. So just fertilise that one. So the fields look good. Nitrogen. This already has nitrogen in it, but we'll probably need a bit of topping off. pH we just fixed on that field. This one, there's patches missed. I think I limed this field as a contract and didn't finish it, obviously. And then this is lousy dirt, silty clay. This one is kind of okay. But we're working our way. We're building the farm. We've got all the equipment we need. We've got all the tractors we absolutely kind of need. It would be nice to have more. But anyway, I will wish you all well. Have a good weekend. We will be back next week. Again, expecting loud kids in the background and what have you. But we can catch up next week, and I may have some news from my physical therapist. I've only got 2 more sessions. I've got one on Monday, and then the following week on Tuesday is the day after I talk to the specialist. So the specialist will tell me what he thinks, and we'll discuss where we're going to go. And then the physical therapist will see me, and it's a review one, so he'll see how well we're doing. And last time we were kind of getting to the point where, to be fair, we're not seeing significant improvement, but last time that happened, I had just seen the specialist heal the MRIs, and he suggested that the physical therapy continues. So I said, to the therapist, while we're not seeing much in the way of improvement, the specialist does want me to continue it at least for now. I think this time the therapist is going to call it off. But as I said, see the therapist this week, I see the specialist next week, and then I see the therapist probably for the last time, at least for now. And then I don't know what's going to happen, but stay tuned. But yes, have fun, have a good week, be good, do things. As for me, I'm out of here. Have fun, everybody.